now this is the Senior Olympics from my perspective. Not much to it other than I do see the ribbon so I can create and work on things, and this is what you'll be learning. And then we have the navigation pane over here showing all the database objects. So I just want to go through some of the objects. For example, here is that event table. So I can double click on that, and this would be the events. This is the data for the events. Now the user is going to use my event form that I created instead of going directly to the table. Now what I also may do is maybe I need to add a new field. So from the event table, I can go to the design view. These are all the fields in the table, and these are the data types covered in chapter 1. And so maybe I could add a new field, or maybe I don't need a field anymore, but I can go in design, modify properties, etc. for a table. Okay? Then in addition to the table, you always must have tables built. That's the first thing you do, is design and then build the tables. Then you can go to the rest of the objects. We have query objects. As I scroll through the query objects, you may notice that there's different icons with the query. Okay, so now here I have an update query, and that looks like mainly what I have are update queries, and these icons mean select queries. So I don't have a lot of data. I don't think much is going to come out, but let's say mail by age group, and so Bill is in age group 3, and he's the only data I had because I cleaned out the data. Participant data or the registration data before the Senior Olympics happened. But so a query, let me go to design view, is something you will build. Okay, and you indicate these are tables, and you indicate what fields you want. And in this query here, I indicated I want males. Okay, so that's that simple. In ascending order. That was a pretty simple query actually. All right, now the next type of object that you'll be working with is forms. And so I've created a number of forms. For example, you already took a look at the a participant form. Okay. Well, this is the participant menu. So some forms become menus for me. Okay. And some forms, okay, I'll have to stop that. And some other forms, let's go to the registration form. So that's a subform actually. I'll come back to that one too. Well, let's see, select participant. Okay, so here's a form where they can select a participant and go to edit record, and here's that form we've seen earlier. Okay, when you go to registration from here, this here is called a subform. That's what I had open earlier. A subform allows you to have many related records. This is not, the fields in this table are not the fields in the Olympics table, but there's a relationship between them. Okay, so we'll learn how to do that. Okay, so forms, reports. So that letter that you saw earlier to Bill in the previous video is a report. I don't have a lot of data, so I don't think we'll get I won't get much for reports since I don't have a lot of data. Oh, here we go. Labels all. So here is a report of labels to be sent out, and it's sorted by zip code actually of previous participants. So we can send them information come March or so is normally when the information is sent. Macros. So macros are in a way like a program, but it's through a drop-down. So macro is an automation using a drop-down. So I have a macro called add records. So I'll go to the design view. And what this macro does is do something off the menu bar. I actually wrote this in a previous version of Access. So here's a very simple one. Close the event form. So that's all it does. It closes a window and opens another form. So a macro, it just is an automation, and it runs when a certain event occurs. And you, the programmer, get to decide the event. And last of all would be, and I do not see, but last of all would be, okay, modules. And modules are your actual programming.